usually guys will lie about their height. You ever hear the saying that say that guys usually add 2 inches to their height? Did you ever use dating dating apps?
Yeah.
You always do you put your actual height on there?
I do. But I technically I'm 5'11" and a half, but I always round up to 6.
That's fine.
Because for the same exact reason. But I have like guy friends who add like 2 inches to their height, which is
How tall are they really before they add their height to it?
like I know a guy who's like 5'7", 5'8", and he put himself as 5'10", 5'11". But he did that because he got so many more matches when he did, and that opened the door for them to actually get to know them and talk to their personality, and then kind of convince them through other ways other than the initial height.
Yo, I think there's an inverse relationship with the shorter they are, the more they'll round up.
Okay, what you say it again?
I said basically the shorter a guy is, the more they'll round up, and then the taller they are, the less they'll round up, and because they want to get as close as possible to 6 foot. That's believable. There's people who are 6'9" who round, or 7 feet that round down. I'm talking about you, Kevin Durant, because he doesn't want to be seen. He doesn't want to be seen as 7 foot. Okay. Yeah. I'm just saying. I just feel like people want to get over 6. That's all.
Okay. So let me address the topic here. Okay. So you say that your friend rounds up, which is very common. I've heard that before. I think, in my opinion, every single guy should put themselves at 6 foot, regardless if you're 6 foot or not. I think
Yes. Here's why I agree.
Go
so
ahead.
there is a statistic that is out there online somewhere, I'm not sure where, that says that I think it was like a really high number. It was above 50% of girls filter out guys. Like, you know how you can put the height as a requirement on a dating app? They put 6 feet like as that requirement. So I feel like if you're like 5'10", 5'11", you should just lie, get in the door, make a good impression, and then she won't care if you're really 6 feet or not.
Wait,
Okay.
Jesse, you gotta preface every guy should be put at 6. What if the
Yes,
dude is
I agree.
5'2"?
I mean, then the question becomes, what is the height at which you should put yourself at 6 foot? Because obviously, someone's
That's-
5 foot can't.
That's what I'm saying. If you 5'10", go to 6 feet.
I think 5'10".
If you
5'10"
5'9",
makes sense.
you 5'11". If you 5'8", you 5'10". You add 2 inches at least. If you 5'5", you 5'9". I think if you 5'5", that's when you really start cranking that joint up.
okay.
You wear Air Force Ones to the first date. You wear Air Force Ones, Timbs, platforms, something to be tall. Insoles, whatever you gotta do.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is-
make him fall in love. and
Fake it
then-
till you make it.
This is why I say every guy should put himself at 6 foot, okay? Because on social dating apps, it's a completely an aesthetic thing. It's all about the physical traits. You're basically judging somebody I'm gonna say almost 90% on just physical, right? You may see like a prompt like, oh my God, I like gaming. This girl likes the game. I'm down. Let's go play some Valorant together. You know what I'm saying? You might use that joint as a way to get in the door. Like, oh, you play video games? What did you play? You play League? I'll be the support to your ADC or some shit like that.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yes.
But okay, the reason why I say that every guy should put themselves at 6 foot is because women know the best angles for themselves in pictures. So the majority of the time, not every single woman out there, they know the best angles. They take 1,000 pictures and they pick like 3 or 4 of the best ones, right? And on top of that, they're wearing makeup. And on top of that, they use filters and they edit their pictures, right? So they are putting themselves in the best marketing positions possible. Okay. How many girls do you know would actually say, hey, yo, put your actual pictures with no makeup on, no filters, and a regular angle? How many girls do you think would actually do that? And like, how many people do you think would actually like them back if they just put the real life pictures on there?
Wait, are you saying that in reference to like, that's why guys should lie about their height, is because
In essence, I'm gonna say this: it levels the playing field. If
Okay.
girls,
Same thing. It's the same thing, basically.
Yes.
yes,
Effectively
it's
doing the same thing.
exactly girls using filters, all that stuff, makeup. It's the same thing because they're lying about their appearance, right? And then on the same things like we're as a guys, we are okay. Think about it this way: you choose to put on makeup, you choose to edit your photos, you choose to use filters. A guy cannot choose his height. That's genetics.
That's fair.
Right.
That's
so
fair.
if you were just leveling your play, okay, I'm 6'2", by the way, right? So I'm advocating for my short kings out there, right? I am advocating for my short kings out there, and I'm trying to make it a fair playing ground for all men. And that's why I say that every guy should put themselves at 6 foot, because if you put everybody at 6 foot, you level the playing field. And so the only thing they could judge you on is based on your appearance. What if a girl met this perfect guy, absolutely perfect dude, and he was only 5'10"? Right? He never even got past the freaking the sorting machine or whatever, or the sorting thing through Hinge, because he's registered at 5'10".
I think in a way, then I think height should not be one of the attributes on Hinge. That's honestly what you're trying to say. It shouldn't be one then, because there are times where, as a guy, you know, there's a girl who pops up at 4'11", and I'm like, I will X and not match them because they're 4'11".
Why don't you want them at 4'11"? You know, they don't even gotta get on their knees.
Mind you, I am 6'1". I am 6'1", but the thing is, all right, maybe it depends on my horniness level. Like if I'm horny, I don't care. But if I'm like, I'm not really that horny, then you're just like, I don't want to feel like I'm with a child.
No, I agree with you, but I'm just saying that, like, okay, because for most women, we said this earlier, right? Like for any woman who's like 5'5" or whatever, when they look up, 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, it all looks the same. Just like Kayne said it earlier, right? When we look at basketball players, when we look at them 7 foot dudes, it all looks the same, like 6'9", 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot. It looks the same, right, Kayne?
Yeah.
I would say it's the same tier.
Tell them the story about your Joel Embiid story.
Oh, yeah, so story time. Nah, it's not really a long story, but I stood next to Joel Embiid. Dude's massive. I mean, 7'2", 280. I mean, I was just like, because I was playing basketball, you know, we were at the same hotel. I was just like, yeah, there's just zero chance I could get a shot over this dude, you know, like in a game. Like, he's just massive. Like, he doesn't even look real, honestly.
And you're 6'1", 6 feet, 6'1".
6 feet, 6'1", 6'1" with shoes, maybe. Type
6'1".
thing.
Round up, right?
You
You got to round
6'1".
up.
If you 6'1"
Hey,
with
look,
shoes, you 6'1".
For sure. I mean, my hinge, I don't have a hinge anymore, but
Why don't
6
you got a
foot.
hinge no more? Hey, you was pulling too much
No,
girls, weren't
not
you?
even. All right, a few reasons. One, I didn't get on it enough. So, like, you know, it was just kind of a waste of time. Like, you know, maybe I'm like taking a shit or something. And it's just like, all right, let me just get on Hinge. Like 5 minute shit turns into 10 type thing. And then 2, I was just like, I don't want it to be my crutch. So, like, I want to actually talk to girls in real life and meet them and not be like, oh, well, like, you know, I got a couple options on Hinge. So, like, I'll fall back to that. Like, I'm not pressed to talk to anyone in this room. So
Okay.
it was like a self thing.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I think you brought up a lot of issues, Jesse. I think I guess first issue talking about the 5'10" rounding up is just that you run the risk of coming across disingenuous when you meet them in real life and you actually say, "Oh, I'm not. I'm 5'8", not 5'10", and lying is pretty bad in most situations, in most starts of relationships. Like if I met a girl who's 5'2" and she's says that on Hinge she's like 5'4", 5'5", and she's like, "Oh, I put it because on heels I'm 5'4", 5'5". I'd be like, "Oh, it's a little weird."
You know what's really funny? I feel like there are some guys who lie about their height so much that it like they start to believe that height that they are that height like actually. So then like they think they're not lying about it. And so now they think they're telling the truth to other girls. Cause like even when you like measure yourself, you like, you know, like, oh, my hair is like, let me add an inch because my hair is like that type of
you're right,
deal.
you're right, you're right, you're right.
It's like, I don't know. Some guys just start to believe like, oh, I'm really 6 feet, even though they're like 5'9". And at that point, are you being disingenuous? I don't know.
Or you're just delusional.
Yeah, you might be delusional.
I mean, they do have those platform shoes, like 2.5 inches.
Yo, I got 2 examples for you. One guy, just you and I know. He was like, yeah, I'm 6 feet. And we're like, dude, you're not 6 feet. And Jesse and I were like, yeah, you're not 6 feet. He goes, what do you mean? You guys are like 6'3", 6'4". I'm like, you cannot add height to someone else to make yourself look taller.
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
I know you're talking about.
And then another time in college, there's someone I know, basically was very close with, and he was like, yeah, I'm 6 feet. And he's like, Jay, how tall are you? I'm like, I'm 6'1". He goes like, really? And then at the time, I was wearing Vans and he was wearing duck boots, but I was still taller than him. He's like, it must be these. He goes, oh, it's the shoes. I'm like 6 feet because my doctor says I'm 6 feet. I was like, I'm barely over 6 feet. I'm like 6 feet and 5/8. So I ran out to 6'1", right? And he was like, nah, I'm 6 feet too, even though I'm clearly an inch or two taller than him. He was like, it's the hair, because at the time I had a faux hawk. I'm like, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man.
I think it's that too, but it's also just, I think for me personally, personality can add height.
Oh,
If you have like a big, like boisterous personality, I'm just gonna assume you're relatively bigger or taller. So like, for example, like someone who's like a bit more like, yeah, just a bit more like straightforward and talks a lot, I kind of add height depending on how they carry themselves out. Versus someone a bit more like shyer, it's kind of, it depends. Yeah, I just think perception of people can add at least an inch.
Let me ask you something though. But do you think this is general? This is just generalization. I'm not including like Kevin Hart in this, right?
Sure.
But do you think that's because people kind of it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy? We have you might know who I'm talking about. He's a very short guy, nicest guy in the world. So nice. He's not one to command a room.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
I know exactly.
Very
who you're
shy,
talking about.
very not very shy. He's just
Not
to
shy.
himself. But it also at the same time, he ends up as like the butt of almost every joke, it feels like.
Wait, becomes a butt of every joke.
He's the butt of a lot of jokes. And I even told him, I said, look, because of that, I said, hey, yo, I'm never gonna let you be like the butt of my jokes, right? Just because I feel bad.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like the polar opposite. I'm 6'1", and my personality is huge, it's big, it's massive. Or like I have a very eccentric personality or whatever. But I'm saying, is it because I have the confidence of my height, and then someone who is shorter does not have the confidence of their height to lean on, so they end up more timid?
I think it could be both, right? It could be like a negative feedback cycle, right? You're already short, maybe that, you maybe feel insecure about that, so you're less likely to talk, and then just kind of maybe even slouch a little bit, and then you just come across just a little bit more meek.
Okay.
But I don't know. It's very situational, context dependent. But for you, I can confirm that you have a pretty big personality, so I'm not shocked that someone might think you're like 6'2".
let's rewind a little bit, right? Basically, what I'm trying to say, when I'm saying that every guy should just put themselves at 6 foot, I'm just saying that like literally level the playing field. Because 5'10" guy, like Steven, how tall are you?
I am 5'11", but I am probably adding like half an inch.
But regardless of the fact, though, like a girl should not discount you like as a contender or like as a suitor, as someone as a possible match just because you're 5'11", or like she like sees you on Hinge. Oh, he's 5'11", I'm out, right?
Yeah.
But then meets you in person, like, damn, you're actually a great person.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to just say, yo, give my guys some like some play. You know what I'm saying? Like let them get in the door.
Hey.
Don't, you know what I'm saying? Like, because have you guys ever heard the saying that like Kane or Jay, have you ever heard that like for tall guys, like being tall is his personality?
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you heard that saying?
Yes.
Or like the equivalent is for females where just being hot is their personality.
Yes.
Yeah.
Have you heard that?
Yes.
So y'all think that's real?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I just know dudes who are like tall, but like just not interesting people. And it's just like, he's just tall.
Yeah.
It's like, damn, he doesn't even hoop either, I'd be in the league if I was this tall.